I believe I'm live. All right. This is the review to the match between Chelsea versus Tottenham, which ended 2-2. And I have to say, even though it was a friendly, I am very surprised with what I saw. It was very good from Chelsea in the first half. Because as soon as we made swaps in the second half, then things just turned into a shambles. But let's just talk about the first half for a second. The first half was so good, so dominant by Chelsea. They just took the game by the reins and they just absolutely ran with it. They took it by themselves. They were the ones who were making the most chances, the most attacks. And Tottenham, throughout that whole 90, didn't really look that threatening. The reason they scored 2 goals in the second half was because we were lazy, we were caught off our guard, and I just felt like it was really easy to see where Tottenham were able to attack and when you knew they were going to score. I even predicted that they were going to score before their first goal. I had predicted that they were going to score, and then they ended up doing so. It was unlucky, and it looked like it was very unfortunate from our circumstances, but it just goes to show how predictable we can be whenever teams are charging against us. But overall, I'm very happy with the players that started, and because I think every single one of those players looked very good. We can talk about Ziyech and Kante, who were the stars of the show, but I have to applaud Kovacic. I have to applaud Chaloba, who someone we don't really see often, but now he is starting to get some time, at least in preseason. Rudiger was absolutely fantastic as well. Hudson-Odoi and Marcus Alonso were both very threatening on the flanks, and as much as people would like to discredit Marcus Alonso for not being who he was like under Antonio Conte, he is still someone who is very good in the attack. Maybe not so much in his defense, but his attacking assets are still something very valuable to this team. Ziyech and Conte, those two were my men of the match. I can't award one. I can't praise one over the other. I think both of them were fantastic. Conte, really good, very good at interceptions. No one could get past him, and I'm so glad that for some reason it looks like he's even gotten better at intercepting. This is literally like prime N'Golo Kante. We are seeing the best of N'Golo Kante right now. It wasn't back 2 years ago. It wasn't last season. We are still seeing the best of N'Golo Kante. He is still improving his game, and it just amazed me how good he is at intercepting. Many players cannot do that, where they can intercept and then just take the ball and then just run with it. It is just so impressive and he was even nutmegging players like Dele Alli because he was getting bored of all the interceptions he was making. He just completely took the midfield, and for the full first half, he was just the heart of our midfield. He was just so good, and alongside him was Mateo Kovacic. Brilliant stuff by Mateo Kovacic. He is someone that many people may have forgotten towards the end of the season because he was injured. He couldn't play against Real Madrid. He went on in the last 5 minutes in the Champions League final. So, his name has kind of, gotten, many people have basically forgotten him. But we saw the best of Mateo Kovacic again today. And yeah, he is just so good at turning people inside out. He is so good at whenever he has the ball, he just basically spins around them, and then he plays a through ball into the middle. And yeah, Mateo Kovacic again, very, very good player. And moving on to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is, someone who's very good on the ball. He was just looking for people to pass it to, making those through balls to people like Timo Werner. And the only thing I have to say about Timo Werner is his finishing is still something that is worrying to us because we want someone to be able to finish. We make ourselves a lot of good chances. We put ourselves into a lot of good positions, but it is that problem of the end product. There is still something that, still is something that gets into Timo Werner's game. He hasn't rectified it yet, but his runs are still very good. And it's unfortunate to see the offsides. Like when he scored, he was apparently offsides, but he really wasn't. If you go back on the replay, he was still onside, miles onside. But yeah, it would have helped him, I think, if he scored. But nevertheless, it was a fantastic run by him. The only thing I really have to say is that his finishing still needs work. If we are deemed to get Lukaku, then maybe that doesn't not have to necessarily happen with Timo Werner. But still, he is someone that just needs to work on his finishing. Many chances could have come out of him scoring many extra goals would have been scored. There was one time when he was in front of the goalkeeper, and I felt like if he just shot it to the right side of the goalkeeper, it would have been 1-0, 2-0. I can't remember the exact order, but yeah, it just needs to work on his finishing. And the defense, for the most part, in the first half was very, 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 very good. I was really impressed by Chalaba, who was very good defensive wise, but also looked like he pushed himself a lot up. I saw the same thing with Rudiger, who was usually at the back, commanding the back, being that leader with experience, and then just coming to help the attack. He had a good header, but it wasn't on target and it went over the bar. So very happy with the defense in the first half, though, because in the second half, I guess I'll just get into the second half right now. In the second half, the defense was just completely terrible. Rudiger and Chalaba and Zuma, I believe our whole back line was still the same. But, Bakayoko, and I bring up that name for the first time probably like in 5 years, talking about a Chelsea game. Bakayoko was, I don't even want to get into it. I've already sent him enough in my watch along. If you go back on that, you will find all the comments that I made on him. Just to, TLDR, not the best that I said about him. I wasn't very happy with him. I don't think many people were, because I was reading comments on Twitter saying that they were fed up and that they were getting PTSD from the Watford games, that that famous game, more like infamous game, I should say. But yeah, Bakayoko, I would say that he is the reason why we played so bad in the second half. And I know that's mean because we're putting it all in one player. He is a Chelsea player. He deserves some respect. But at the same time, I remember how much of a liability he can be. He kept on losing the ball, let's be honest. He kept on losing the ball way too frequently. And it was just annoying me to the point where I was just basically screaming at him every time he got the ball. But he did make like a pass or two, a few successful passes. So I'll give him that. But I think for the most part, many people do not want to see him play in a Chelsea shirt again. But that's just me. I could be wrong. He could become something in the future. Who knows? But I wasn't happy with his performance today. And yeah, but people like Christian Pulisic looked very good. He was just doing his thing, being very good, dribbling, running down the wing, and people like Andrew. I was very surprised by Andrew. He looked like he could dribble. There was one point where he literally dribbled the entire Tottenham team. And then he got a shot off. He got a shot on goal, but then it didn't go in, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's really all to say about this game. What this entails for the future is that our starting team, or the people that we have right now, like our best players, Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Werner, Mendy, Rudiger, Zuma, Alonso. Maybe not many two people agree with me with Alonso, but Kante, Kovacic, all those players, they still look like they're in the top of the game. It doesn't look like international games, tournaments, friendlies, whatever it may be, didn't take too much of a toll on them. But yeah, I'm just very happy to see that this team is still, it looks like we maintain the same caliber that we had at the end of the season. It looks like we're still up and running. It still looks like we are playing good football, and I'm just happy with the team right now, the best of our team at least. We still got those quality players. We're still playing some quality football, and I like to say again that one touch football, and then taking the space in the midfield is just so good. It was something that I wanted last season, and then something that we got under Tuchel. And then now we're still seeing what we can do with that game plan, where we're so good with the one-touch passing. We find the through balls, we put people into space, and then I say finishing and just being better at taking our opportunities are the only thing that's left missing in this club. We need to sort that out, and if we get Lukaku, then we might as well be singing all day long, because we know he is someone that can do that. But that is another story, probably for another day. But not for me, because I already said that I didn't want to do another video on the transfer window until something official comes out. If Lukaku signs, then you can expect like 20 videos of me. You can expect a compilation from me. I think everyone in the Chelsea community, every single Chelsea fan, would be happy about that. But again, that is a story for another day until it gets Well, until it becomes official. Until something becomes official, I won't do another video. But going back to this game, I was very happy with Chelsea in the first half. At least I was very happy with all the runs and the plays and everyone. What more can you say? The first half was brilliant by Chelsea. The second half, not too much, but you can't really blame Chelsea because we literally put our D team on, and we literally had Bakayoko in our midfield. So you get what you put on. But that's literally going to be it for me. I've been your local blue. Please consider subscribing, liking the video, commenting down below. If you want me to make some other types of content, then please write that down in the comment section. I would be happy to hear you guys. But that is just going to be it for me. It ends Chelsea 2, Tottenham 2, and it was an entertaining friendly. I'm glad that I got to see the game and see my team once again. And, you know, we play a cup final next week, so hopefully we do something with that. I don't have no idea if we have another friendly until then, but yeah, I think this team could still, you know, perform to the way that they were ending last season. That's going to be it for me. Take care, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.